Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Friday follow-up in the continuing journey of accountability. Today's November 11th. In Canada, it's called Remembrance Day, and here in the States, it's called Veterans Day. But regardless if it's called Remembrance Day or Veterans Day, the theme, the thought, the prayers, the hopes, and the honoring of our veterans is the same. We all have veterans in our families. Both my dad and my father-in-law served in the Korean War. I have several cousins who were in the service. One was a paratrooper. One did aerial surveillance. I have uncles who served in World War II. So, and I have a son-in-law who's a veteran. And in all the times that we had a chance or a willingness to talk about what they did to serve their countries, everyone was different. Some wanted to talk a lot about it. Others didn't want to say a word. So I got the sense, though, in regardless of what was said, you could tell that one thing that they probably missed a lot was they didn't have their team around them, their buddies, their support system. Because as their training was, they were taught to do a mission and everybody had their part, but they all supported each other. And when they left the service, I sometimes get the sense that that's what they were missing. They didn't miss some of the horrors and some of the struggles that they had while they were serving. It was after, when they were away, when they got out of the service and they missed their buddies and they didn't seem to have that support group. And by definition, a veteran is a person who's had a long experience in a particular field. And I don't mean any disrespect, but as a TOPS member, we're a veteran of the against the battle of obesity. And a lot of the folks who served our countries as they got older are struggling with health issues that are tied to obesity. So, and we know we have veterans as TOPS members, and that's one of the things I miss when we had IRDs, but at least we get to see it at SRDs, ARDs, and in your PRDs, where we honor our veterans who served our countries when they present the colors at the event. So I know that we have veterans in there, but I always thought we could do more. And again, when my father passed, the American Legion came forward, and some of his buddies that were still around came to talk to me, and I got to hear a few more things about my father when he served. And I thought, we got to bring this together to help them, because one of Dad's buddies came up to me and he said, I so much wanted to wear my uniform in honor of your dad, but it just doesn't fit anymore. And he knew what I was doing, for TOPS, and I think that was just, I don't know, and because my head wasn't on straight that day, I don't know if that was a subtle way of like, hey, I could use some help because I know your dad was part of your chapter too, but it's always been in the back of my mind that I was hoping that as a TOPS organization, we could do more to reach out to veterans who are having health issues due to the comorbidities of obesity. And when you think about, that's how we survive as TOPS members, is we have our team, we have our support, we have our buddies around us, and we know how important it is, because when we lost that during the pandemic, a lot of us struggled. Some of us are still struggling. So I know it's probably a stretch, and by no means it's not the severity of it, but when our veterans who served our country so well got out of the service and they didn't have that support system around them, that's where some of them struggled. And again, as I saw the dynamics play out when I talked to my uncle and my cousins and my dad and my father-in-law, getting different pieces of what they struggled with during and after, that's kind of like in some way what some of us go through in our struggles with obesity. I don't, I sometimes like irony, I kind of look for signs and stuff like that. But as I talk about this subject of veterans and how I would like to do more to help them, and then I think they could help us at the same time because they know what support and teamwork is all about. As we prepare for our 75th anniversary next year, is it a coincidence that the very first article that was printed about Mrs. Mann's starting tops was in the 1951 issue of Life magazine, and on the cover was General Omar Bradley? I don't know. I just look at that, and I've over the years, I think now I've got like 4 issues. I just collect them just because I want that. But I have them out, and I've done a presentation on that a while back ago. You can find it in the archives on YouTube. But it just makes sense that we can learn a lot from each other. And I actually mentioned that during the interview process with the board of directors, that I always thought as an organization we could reach out to veteran organizations and offer them support with their health issues. I think it's well needed, both in the United States and Canada. We have our American Legions here, and Canada has Canadian Legions. So I would like to start that discussion today. I will talk with, and I'm trying to figure out how the best way to do this, because I'm hoping that everybody will want to take part. But I would like to have a committee of members, field staff, and headquarter personnel to explore this a little bit further and get messaging out to our veteran organizations to let them know what we can do to help support them, because they gave all, folks, and if we can do something to help them as they have health issues. And again, a lot of health issues now are being more recognized as comorbidity to obesity. That if we can tackle that dreaded disease of obesity, a lot of other diseases and health conditions will go away or at least improve. So I think this is a big thing. It's a daunting task. It has to be done with tact, and we do not want to offend anybody. And again, a serious subject that I think needs to exploring. So you will hear something more official in the coming months as we go forward, what we can do to maybe some targeted messaging or to reach out to veteran organizations, and veterans who are already TOPS members can also provide great insight on what made them join TOPS, and maybe they know ways so we can get the word out. I think it's something a goal that our organization needs to take on, and I thought this was a good day to mention it on November 11th, Veterans Day or Remembrance Day. And I'm finally glad I'm getting a chance to talk about it, because it's been a few years. Unfortunately, a lot of things has happened in between the beginning and the middle and where we're at today, but it's time. It's time that we reach out to other organizations and let them know that we're here to support them in any way we can. And in the meantime, I think we will learn and get support from them. So I'll get off my soapbox a little bit and talk a minute or two about my journey of accountability, which has been taking so many twists and turns over the past few weeks. It's just been unreal. I definitely have to get back on track. I have to get refocused, not making excuses, but we all know, we've all heard that expression. Not that one. The one I'm going to say is life happens. And I've just got to maybe take a step back and refocus on a few things. And as we're getting closer to the holidays, which is a struggle for a lot of us. So again, going back to support, I need to get back to a chapter meeting. I haven't been in 5 weeks. Just because of, traveling to Milwaukee, other events going on, other commitments. I would like to say maybe I spread myself too thin, but that would be a lie. So yeah, I got to get back on track. I know what to do. I have 20 years of experience, so I am a veteran on that part. So I just got to learn. And I hope you folks really reflect more on what I talked about, what we can do as an organization, reaching out to our veterans, because they deserve it. Then I'll see you next Friday.